Are you having trouble sleeping, having stomach problems, or having joint discomfort that won't go away? Your knees can creak when you get out of bed, or you might feel stiff after sitting for a long time. You're not the only one. Many older people have these problems as they become older, and it's not always easy to discover a means to fix them. You might have realized that your memory isn't as good as it used to be, or you might have even observed that your energy levels are progressively dropping. Days that used to seem full of potential now seem a little heavier. Many people have probably gone to foods they felt were healthier, like almonds, to get more nutrients into their bodies. Nuts are a great snack since they are full of protein, fiber, and healthy fats. You may have heard that they are beneficial for your heart, brain, and joints. You may have even assumed that they would help you sleep better or give you more energy. But here's the thing. Some of these nuts, the ones you've undoubtedly been eating for years, might be making your health problems worse. You might be surprised to learn that the nuts you've been eating could be hurting you in ways you don't even know about. What if you've been hurting your health without knowing it while attempting to eat healthy? Some nuts may seem like a fantastic snack choice, but they can really make your joint pain worse, create memory problems, or even digestive problems that seem impossible to repair. These health problems you've been having? They might have something to do with the nuts you eat every day. So, what nuts should you stay away from? Today, I'm going to talk about 5 specific types of things that can be hurting you without you knowing it, and how you can make better choices to keep your body and mind safe. Be with me, because I'm going to tell you what these nuts are and how to be safe from them. Welcome to the channel if you're new here. This channel is intended just for seniors like you who want to get healthier without using drugs. We provide you natural remedies, medical advice, and lifestyle suggestions every week that can help you digest better, keep your heart healthy, make your bones stronger, improve your memory, and give you more energy. You won't miss any important tips that will help you live a healthier, happier, and more independent life after 60 if you subscribe. So click the subscribe button now and remain with me, because what I'm going to tell you will transform how you think about nuts forever. The healthy nuts that are bad for you. We all know that nuts are a good source of protein, healthy fats, and other important nutrients. They're easy to grab, convenient, and often advertised as a snack that is good for your heart and brain. But here's the deal. Not all nuts are the same. A lot of them are good for you, but some of them have chemicals that can be bad for you, especially for older people whose bodies may be more sensitive to specific meals. Have you ever been informed that a certain food is good for you, but then had stomach problems or joint pain after eating it? Maybe you've noticed that your stomach hurts, or your joints feel stiffer than normal, even if you believed you were doing something healthy for your health. That could mean you're consuming the wrong kinds of nuts, which could be doing more harm than good. Let's take a look at one of the most popular offenders, cashews. You may have seen cashews in the bulk department of grocery shops, or you may like to add them to salads or eat them as a snack. People frequently think of them as a healthy and tasty option because they are high in magnesium, fiber, and good fats. But here's something that most folks don't know. Urushiol is a chemical that is also found in poison ivy and poison oak. This substance can produce adverse reactions when eaten, such as itching, swelling, stomach problems, and even severe stomach pain. For example, look at Bob. Bob is 68 years old and has been eating cashews as a snack for years, thinking they were good for him. But lately, after eating them, he had stomach cramps, bloating, and even some skin sensitivity. He thought it was just his age catching up with him, but when he stopped eating cashews, those problems went away. He didn't know he was allergic to urushiol, and the cashews were making his stomach hurt. The worst part? A lot of folks don't know that this is going on. They keep eating cashews because they think they're good for their health, but the urushiol ingredient may be making their digestion issues, skin irritation, or joint discomfort worse. This is especially bad for older people since their immune systems may not respond as fast to these poisons, which could make their symptoms worse or take longer to show up. For older people, whose bodies are already struggling with problems like joint inflammation or poor digestion, eating cashews with urushiol can make these problems worse. If you feel bloated, uncomfortable, or even have joint pain after eating cashews, it might be time to switch to a new snack. If you really like cashews, you should get raw ones instead of roasted ones. Raw cashews have less urushiol than roasted ones. But it's still important to pay attention to how your body reacts. It could be time to get rid of them totally if you see any signs of pain. But cashews aren't the only nuts that can be giving you problems. Stay with me because we're going to look at another well-known nut that might be doing more harm than good in the next part. For instance, look at Susan. She is 67 years old, loves to nibble on cashews, and has been feeling bloated and sore in her joints for months. Her symptoms became a lot better once she stopped eating them. The most ordinary snacks might sometimes be the ones that cause problems. What walnuts do to your digestion? That is bad now. Let's talk about walnuts, which are generally commended for their omega-3 fatty acids that are good for the heart and brain. A lot of people say they're one of the best things for brain health and cognitive function. And many older people may take them in the hopes of enhancing their memory and health in general. But this is when the reality gets hard. Did you aware that walnuts could be messing up your digestion? Walnuts are high in healthful fats and antioxidants, but they also have a lesser-known drawback, especially for older people who already have sensitive stomachs or digestive problems. You see, walnuts have a lot of phytic acid in them. This is a natural substance that is found in many plant-based meals. Phytic acid can attach to minerals in your digestive system that are necessary, such as calcium, iron, and magnesium, and stop your body from absorbing them effectively. This can be a big problem for older people who are already at risk of losing bone density or not getting enough nutrients. Picture this. Carol is 72 years old and loves walnuts. She eats them every day because she thinks they are good for her health. But lately, she's been more tired than normal, and her doctor warned her she doesn't have enough calcium. She wonders why this is so hard for her, especially considering she's been eating a lot of good stuff. But there's a problem. Carol's daily handful of walnuts might be stopping her from getting the calcium she needs to keep her bones strong. Phytic acid makes it much harder for your body to absorb certain minerals, and this can lead to health problems over time. Research has found that excessive levels of phytic acid can also make it harder for the body to absorb zinc. Zinc is very important for the immune system, mending wounds, and cell growth. Let's compare walnuts to other nuts that have less phytic acid, such as almonds. Almonds have a lot less phytic acid than walnuts, which implies that they help the body absorb minerals better. Think about how much better things could be if Carol traded some of her walnuts for almonds. She may get extra calcium, magnesium, and other important nutrients, which would help her bones stay strong and her health in general. It's not about cutting out walnuts completely if you like them. But if you're worried about how well your body absorbs minerals, try soaking your walnuts before you eat them. If you soak them for around 12 hours, it can help break down the phytic acid and make them simpler to stomach. You might also eat other nuts that have less phytic acid, like almonds or macadamia nuts, along with your walnuts. Do you consume walnuts often? Or have you ever had stomach problems after eating them? Please tell me in the comments below. I'd want to hear about your experience and how you've taken care of your digestive health. Peanuts. A secret risk to your heart. Let's talk about peanuts, which are a common food that a lot of people like to eat as peanut butter, trail mix, or just as a quick snack. People frequently think that peanuts are a fantastic source of protein and good for heart health, but the truth is a little more complicated. Did you realize that peanuts could be bad for your heart without you knowing? Peanuts are technically a legume, not a nut. But that's not the problem. It's not because of the fat level, Aflatoxin is a carcinogenic toxin that mold makes when it grows on peanuts that are not stored properly. This is the true hazard. When peanuts are kept in warm, humid circumstances, several kinds of mold grow on them and make aflatoxin. This mold can hurt your liver and is potentially related to cancer. Aflatoxin can have a worse effect on older people because their immune systems are naturally weaker. This can lead to long-term health problems. Let's talk about Martha, who is 69. Martha ate peanut butter every day because she thought it was excellent for her health. But at a regular checkup, the doctor saw that her liver enzymes were too high. She was shocked to find that aflatoxin in peanuts might be to blame. To help preserve her liver, her doctor told her to quit eating peanuts and switch to almond butter. Why this is important for older people? Aflatoxin is a big worry for older people since it can hurt the liver. The liver cleans the body of toxins, but when it gets too many of them, it can create serious health problems. Peanuts that have aflatoxin in them could be putting extra stress on your liver, which could make it difficult for your body to get rid of toxins. If you enjoy peanuts, you might want to choose organic, aflatoxin-tested ones. These are often processed to lower the risk of mold. You might also switch to healthier products like almond butter, which doesn't have the same mold dangers. If you want to protect your liver and yet enjoy a tasty, protein-rich snack, this change can be straightforward. Have you ever had problems with your liver or digestion after eating peanuts? If you've switched to different nut butters, please let me know in the comments. Almonds, the nut that can be too much of a good thing. Almonds are typically thought of as the healthy nut. Let's speak about them now. People like almonds because they are high in vitamin E, good fats, and fiber. People often prescribe them for heart health, decreasing cholesterol and keeping skin healthy. But like with all foods, moderation is important. Did you know that eating too many almonds could make your stomach hurt? Yes, it's true. Almonds are full of minerals, but they also have a lot of fiber, which can be hard for some individuals to stomach. Almonds include a lot of fiber, which is good for digestion in little amounts. But older people with sensitive stomachs or diseases like IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, may discover that eating too many almonds makes them feel bloated, gassy, or even constipated. Some people may find it hard to digest because it has a lot of fiber, especially if they don't eat a lot of fiber. For example, Linda is 74. She had heard that almonds were good for her heart and digestion, so she started eating a handful of them every morning with her muesli. But soon she started to get stomach cramps and bloating, which got worse over time. She talked to her doctor and found out that the extra fiber in the almonds was bothering her digestive system. Linda's stomach problems became better as she cut back on the almonds and ate more low-fiber items to balance them out. Why this is important for seniors. Our digestive systems usually get more sensitive as we get older. Our stomach's enzymes might not be as good at breaking down some foods, and foods high in fiber, like almonds, might be hard on a sensitive system. That's why it's vital to eat almonds in moderation and alongside other foods to avoid stomach problems. If you really like almonds, try to only eat a small handful, approximately 10-12 almonds every day. This will let you get all the health benefits without putting too much stress on your digestive system. You might also soak your almonds overnight. This can make them simpler to digest by lowering the fiber's effect on your stomach. Have you felt any stomach pain after eating almonds? How do you make sure you get the right amount of fiber in your diet? Please leave a remark with your opinions. Brazil nuts, the hidden danger to your thyroid. Brazil nuts are typically lauded for having a lot of selenium, so let's end with them. Selenium is an important trace mineral that is very important for the functioning of the thyroid, the immune system, and the body's ability to fight off free radicals. But like with anything, too much of a good thing may be bad. Did you know that eating too many Brazil nuts can be bad for your thyroid? It's not because of the fat. It's because of selenium, which can be harmful in large amounts. Brazil nuts are one of the best sources of selenium. You only need to eat 1 or 2 Brazil nuts to get all the selenium you need in a day. But eating too many Brazil nuts, like 5 or more a day, might make you sick with selenium, which can cause hair loss, tiredness, and problems with your thyroid. This is especially worrying for older people, whose thyroids may already be shutting down because of their age. For example, George is 70. He read that Brazil nuts were good for his thyroid, so he started eating 5 to 6 of them every day. George started to notice that his hair was thinning, and his energy levels were declining after a few weeks. His doctor did some tests and found that he had significantly too much selenium in his body. George had taken too much selenium without knowing it, and it was starting to alter how his thyroid worked. Why? This is important for older people. Your thyroid is in charge of important things in your body, like how fast you burn calories, how much energy you make, and how hot or cold you feel. The thyroid naturally slows down as we get older, and taking too much selenium can make this happen faster, which can cause symptoms including exhaustion, weight gain, and trouble concentrating. It's crucial to know how much selenium you're getting if you eat Brazil nuts a lot and not to go beyond. If you like Brazil nuts, you only need to eat 1 to 2 of them a day to get enough selenium. If you eat more than this, it could hurt your thyroid. If you're worried about selenium poisoning, you could cut back on Brazil nuts to just a few times a week. Or you could choose other nuts that have less selenium, like almonds or macadamia nuts, but not too many. Have you ever eaten Brazil nuts every day and noticed any changes in your health? Please tell me about your experiences in the comments below. So, to sum up, nuts can be a healthy snack for older people, but there are clearly those that are bad for them. Cashews, walnuts, peanuts, almonds, and Brazil nuts are all good for you, but they also have hidden hazards that could be hurting your health in ways you never thought they would. Keep in mind that moderation and diversity are important. You can be sure you're getting the finest nutrition without any hidden risks by being careful about which nuts you consume and how many. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like this video. By subscribing, you'll get weekly suggestions that are just for seniors. These tips can help you live longer, healthier, and happier once you turn 60. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the future video.